Pore, and today we are getting outside of our comfort zones. I've been outside my comfort zone for the last couple of days because a pipe in our building broke and we didn't have water for 2 days. So it's one thing. I camped a lot as a child. My father was a sadistic camping enthusiast. And I went to Burning Man as an adult. But it's one thing when you have the expectation of being clean and smelling good and not. I love water. Water is my friend. My body likes water. And so it's been terribly uncomfortable for the last 2 days, but I understand that other people have it much worse. But anyway, enough about me. Comfort zone. What made me think about going outside my comfort zone for makeup was a red lipstick from Charlotte Tilbury that I got as a free gift with purchase. As one of her loyalty members. If you ever order from Charlotte Tilbury's website, you should just sign up for the loyalty. It gives you something a little back. Sometimes she has 20% offs. And this time it was a free lipstick, but this lipstick was red, 1975 red. And I put it on and I was surprised about how much I liked it because it's a bright color. You're gonna see it because we're gonna wear it today. But I started thinking about those sorts of things that are outside of my comfort zone and why they're outside. Sometimes it's a product, sometimes it's a color, sometimes it's a placement of things. So today we're just gonna go outside the comfort zone. So anyway, here we go, good times. So the first thing that we're gonna be trying out, as you may know, if you've been following along, I'm trying out new foundations to see who's going to dethrone and leave the, come into place for my Dior. So this next one is the Mercier, and this is going to be my second time wearing it, and it's outside my comfort zone. First of all, because it's new, and second of all, the first time I wore it, it behaved a lot like her liquid blushes did on me. They sank right into my pores. I have large pores, texture, skin that's, well, I'm 50, so there you go. But anyway, so today we're gonna do the Rare Beauty, the Pore Diffusing Primer. I don't know what it's called, and that's not helping. Pore Diffusing Primer. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna put a little bit of that on, and this is gonna be my second time trying the Mercier. I had to take a wee break from testing foundation because one of the ones that I tried out, my skin reacted poorly to. So it's one of those things that it's like I had to take about 4 days off wearing foundation just because, like, my skin when it gets unhappy, both from acne and from, this is a psoriasis spot that's having fun there. So it's one of those things that it just needs to calm down. And I have some products that I use for skincare that helps it calm down, but in some ways it just needs to heal, and that just takes time. So anyway, so we're starting over with the Mercier. This is the new one. Glass bottle, plastic top. This is a little pump. It pumps just a little bit out at a time, which is not a problem. So here we go. I'm a big fan of the Mercier, this tinted moisturizers. That's one of the products that's in my regular collection that I like. So when it said that she was coming out with a new foundation, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it. It hadn't been in my initial plan for my little foundation battle just because I didn't know it. So this is super thin. It reads more emollient, but it's super thin. So you're gonna get a little bit of that glowy kind of thing, which is funny because like all the rest of our tinted moisturizers are that way. But anyway, it's super thin, super slidey, slight fragrance, and it doesn't have, if we're talking about a lot of coverage, like that's not necessarily what we're getting from this as much. You can see it kind of gave me a little bit of a glow, and a little bit of coverage. It helped a little bit, but it's not, coverage is not its strong suit. In fact, I think I get more coverage from the tinted moisturizers, oddly enough. So anyway, we're gonna keep on keeping on. I'm not gonna set this because I'm gonna be using some cream products. Cream was out of my comfort zone for a long time just because growing up I had oily skin, and so like the cream stuff just kind of got claggy and mushy, and they didn't have as good of cream products back in the day. They just didn't. We have a lot of really high performing cream to powder sorts of products. So I'm very thankful about that. But when I was younger and oily, like I just kind of avoided anything remotely involving cream. But you know, now as I'm aging, I'm coming to appreciate some of the beautiful things about cream. So we're gonna go in with the cream bronzer from Charlotte Tilbury. I love this product. So this product itself is not necessarily outside of my comfort zone, but the application that we're gonna do with it today, sometimes out of the comfort zone is where you're placing it or how you're placing it. I'm using a familiar brush, the Yenza bronzer brush. We're gonna use that for both our bronzer and our blush today. But I'm gonna do a different placement than I normally do. I think it was Nikki Rose LA was talking about the different contour placement or bronzer placement and coming up higher on the cheekbones instead of at the hollow here, going above it for a more lifted, and more lifted look. So we're gonna do that. So we're gonna just treat it like a little bit like we're doing a blush. Now I tend to have a just as far as light read goes, right here tends to get a little darker, but then back up here doesn't. So I'm really focusing on further back. Okay. All right. So we're gonna stop there. And that whole reassessing as we age too, like what ways did we apply makeup in the past that don't work for us? And also what new ways of application for us, it's not like it's new on earth, but what new ways of application do we want to use? And I know, if you've studied any for theatrical makeup, or in this case, again, a lot of the drag queens do this, the idea of restructuring the face, that you can approach your makeup like that. Like either you're wanting it to look incredibly natural and, exactly like your face, or you're wanting to restructure or recontour the face. Okay, so we're keeping it high. And I feel like this side of my face always wants a little bit more. The other thing, I'm trying to keep things light anymore in my application. I am one of those people, like when they say a pea size of any kind of product, like that's never been me. I've never been really able to handle a pea size of anything. And so that's out of my comfort zone. So like the idea of being lighter, in my application of things is also, as I've grown in my makeup techniques, has been, a challenge, but that's what I'm working on. So then I picked up one of the Danessa Myricks. It's in the same formulation as the blurring the balm powder foundation, and I got two shades. The other one was Rosé and Brunch, which was very in my comfort zone, and then this is Bellini, which is getting outside of my comfort zone, and I wanted to try this because I was interested in the color. Now these are really pigmented blushes, and they go from cream to powder, and you can get a very deep color read with this. So it's great for people with more deeply colored skin, pigmented skin, to be able to get those color reads like you'd like to. If you're lighter skin, you gotta be careful with it. And the odd thing is, because it can sheer out where it's pretty translucent, it's a weird thing as far as color, like, and where you place it. You gotta experiment with your face. How would it look if you're doing the little Campbell soup on the cheeks? In this case, we're gonna keep it very high again towards the back and high, rather than in this light cheeky sort of experience. But it's hard because I think a lot of people would like these blushes, but for me it's a lot of trial and error. Okay, and I'm trying not to put too much. Like right there I can start to read the color, and that's probably enough. But I have a tendency to wear too much, and these are pigmented enough that it looks weird if it's opaque on my skin, but if it shears out, then it looks weird if I don't place it exactly where it would look natural. It looks weird. The other thing is, if you have breakouts on your cheeks, the color is really pigmented. It will stick to like dry crusty patches on your cheeks. So you get this deep color read right where it's on the flaky skin. So you do need to have that in mind when you're applying it. I feel like I just need a little more. Okay, now this is something that you can use as a lip color, but it's very, let me swatch that for you. So that's the swatch where it's more opaque. And then this is it. So really for me, what I'm wanting is that, and I'm wanting to make sure, because it's a different color than I normally blush, that my placement of it is important. Now this does have Upslide in it. If you watched my initial strange formulations about the blurring balm powder foundation, the Upslide hasn't really been, it didn't really control my oils at all, and so I'm not really looking for that with this. It doesn't seem to be drying, however. Also, I just ordered some makeup from Linda Hallberg, and she from Sweden, and she also has products. In fact, I think she was the first one really that I know of that had used the Upslide in it, to balance oils, to control oils. And some of the people that use the foundation that have oily skin just swear by it. For me, it was good at some color correction, and that was kind of how I was using it. But otherwise, it wasn't the end all and be all for me as far as that goes. So the Upslide properties of this aren't really of concern for me because I don't find it drying. I don't find that it really does much for me, but I do love the fact that these blushes, I love the fact that they kind of settle in, more of a powder. So I'm going to keep up that with a liquid highlighter. This is new, Danessa Myricks. This is, my lighting's all wonky in here. I think this one is Femme. Yeah. So the thing about this one, and I'll swatch it, really pretty, but it's got sparkle to it. And you can see the highlight part of that, but if you get in, basically if you're in intimate distance or, just social distance, you can see the sparkle particles, which isn't my favorite. I think the only time that I've ever actively liked sparkle particles is with the One Size Fantasia highlighter. And that's weird for me because I don't usually like that. That was a new one. So anyway, I figured this one, I would give it a try. So I'm not gonna apply it directly. I'm gonna take and put it on my finger and apply it, because it's a lot if you try and just swipe it on. So now this is a little more of a dewy texture to it. You can use this on other parts of your face, meaning your eyes, but it does have that, to begin with, that more dewy texture. So I'm just tapping this. But what I liked about this is not my first time wearing this. I'm not really a fan of things that stay tacky or stay dewy. This, especially if you don't over apply, if you over apply it, it's going to be sticky. It just is. But if you just gently apply a little bit of it, it stays more of a slippy, moisturized feeling. But it doesn't totally, you know, powder down. But it also doesn't feel sticky where like my hair is going to get stuck in it and it's going to be gross. So I don't mind that, but it is more of that wet, dewy sort of a both feeling and a look to it. So like this side is settling in on my skin. So it's not dry, it's not powdery, but it's not terribly sticky. It's just a little bit of emollients. So I don't mind that. Okay, so now we've got kind of our face on. The next thing I'm going to go to was I just got the 3 Oden's Eye with the different collaborators, the 3 palettes. Now this is the Betty Jean palette, and the other 2, the Lauren May and Amanda's palette, I knew exactly what I wanted to do with them. They were exactly in my comfort zone. I was excited about it. Love the Oden's Eye formula, but the Betty Jean was so bright. Like, I've been loving colors, but I was intimidated by this. I'm like, what on earth am I gonna do with this? And I ended up picking up all 3 palettes. There was a little slight discount if you got all 3 of them, but I was really enamored with this shade. And I'm like, well, you know, like these 2 shades here could be like a 2 shadow look and be just great, and I know what to do with them. And I was really enamored of the swatches that I saw of this, because all of the creators did swatches of all of the items. Ordering from Oden's Eye, if you're wondering, is super easy. Your credit card or your debit card will probably charge you about a $3 fee for ordering things from a foreign company. Other than that, the Oden's Eye takes care of all the hoo-ha from it, and it just arrives. And they track it really easy, and it, for being, you know, out of country for me, it delivers fairly quickly. In fact, like I said, I've had it come faster than Pat McGrath, so there you have it. So anyway, today what I thought, since the color of lipstick that we've got, I'm going to try and do my oranges here, and then just a little bit of the bright pink, and then the purple that I was interested in. So because these are deeper colors, what I'm going to try and do is put in with a firm brush and just try and pat them for the most part. I'm not going to try and do a lot of swiping because I just want that color read to be pretty pow. So we're gonna start with our orange eye. I like to think that this is going to turn out like a sunset, but I can't promise anything. I'm way outside my personal comfort zone. It'd be different if I was doing a look on someone else, you know, because it's somebody else's face, you know, or if it's for a costume sort of reason, like if I was doing a Halloween, like a pumpkin look. Excuse me. I don't have any problem with that, but like when this is my daily makeup, I'm gonna wear this to potential Zooms at work. And we've been having like spur of the moment Zooms as of late. I'm going to be transferring departments at work, which I'm super excited about. Just found that out here recently, and so I'm super excited about that. But anyway, the Zooms have been coming just like surprise. So, you know, if I'm trying this like deep red lip and like smeary whatever artistic, and then I have to have a Zoom. So okay, so I put orange on the top, and then I'm gonna take the more of the hot pink and put that towards the edges. So anyway, as you may know if you've been watching, I've been working on my bravery muscle. That like bravery does not necessarily come naturally to me, so I've been working on the bravery muscle. And one of those things was applying to a different position, a different department work. I was applying to some other jobs just to see what was available, but I felt like I wanted to be in a different department. So I applied to that. I had a stellar interview. I must say I did really well. And I can tell because, well, I got the job, but like I can tell when I'm having a bad interview. Like I'm just you know, floundering. I'm humming and hawing and all sorts of things. I'm gonna take this hot pink down underneath too. But I felt like I was really calm yet excited. And I was prepared for everything they asked me. The only thing I couldn't remember is the word summary, of all things. You know, like I'm talking about, they asked me if they gave me a certain type of a document for 5 minutes, where would I spend most of my time? And I'm just like, the top part, the first thing, you know, and I didn't do that out loud, but that was in my mind. My mind was scrambling for the word summary. Never got there. So I just said, oh, I just spent it in the first part, you know, talking about who the sponsor of the study was, what they were looking for, you know, if it was, what phase it was in. Okay, see, we got that going on. So I'm going to do the sparklies now. I'm going to do the orange sparkly and then that purple that I was interested in. I'm going to finger application for both of those. So anyway, that went really well. And so I'm going to be starting theoretically the mid-month, but I asked them if we could start earlier because I would like that, because the training process for the new position is longer, but I'm not mad about that. Okay, I'm going to go up a little bit into my crease just so I can kind of meld that sparkly. So anyway, so that's been going on. So that's been really outside of my comfort zone, but it really started when I'm like, okay, I just need to face some of these things with a little more bravery in my life. And how do I do that? Well, I got to work the muscle. I got to do little things that are brave. Today, I got to make a phone call to a company that I don't want to make. And so that's what's on my bravery. It's like a bucket list, but it's not like before I die. It's like, I just got to do it. I just got to get better at it. Okay, so now I'm going in. See how pigmented that is? Just the base of that. Like the sparkly is definitely there, but the base. I've just loved the Oden's eyeshadows because I'm often surprised at how complex and lovely they are. So like I've been a convert now. Okay, going in with that purple. Okay, and this is more of a shifty shade if you're looking at it just on its own. But look at that, just how it kind of deepens it up. And of course I'll want to check all this before I hit the Zoom calls for the day, just to make sure that it's turning out as lovely as I feel like it is. I don't have my glasses on yet, so we don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna take a fluffy brush just up top towards my brow bone. Just kind of making sure it's blending out. Now, for my liner. So I was just watching one of the, excuse me, drink time. Julia Adams, MUA, which I really love watching. She was doing a double line look and using different products, but I was thinking really for me, liquid liner is, if I'm in my comfort zone, I'm swiping on a Laura Geller Kajal kohl liner and calling it a day. And liquid liner is not necessarily my preference. I like it when I like it. And there's certain looks that it, you know, when you're doing it, we're doing a really bold look, which usually, you know, the common wisdom is to do a bold eye, light lip, you know, or vice versa. See, I'm seeing right now, I just need to blend a little bit. Some of this is my natural cheek color. Like if I was doing it, I would probably go over it with a lightening sort of an agent because my normal cheek is darker right in that place. Anyway, sorry, squirrel. So I'm gonna go in with my liner. And she was doing this lovely double wing. So this is the one size liner, liquid liner. The two liquid liners that I have in my collection are this, and then I have a KVD liquid liner in a mini, because the size of it is perfect little on the go. Okay, so then I'm going to take more of the tip down here. And I'm going to try that double. Okay, let's try it on the other side. And usually with liquid, I'm doing small strokes, because if I'm trying to glide like all in one spot, if I jerk or anything like that, then my line's off. So if I'm doing it in, oh look, the sun came out. Huzzah. Okay. And I'm making my line. Okay, and then going back in with the very tip. Okay, and I'm a little okay, there we go. All right, so we've got that. And now, not outside my comfort zone. It's my better than sex. Mascara is really where generally I'm not interested in going outside my comfort zone. I might entertain a colored mascara for going outside my comfort zone, but I don't own any of those. I have the not very exciting chocolate color of Better Than Sex. I think the last time that I really was playing outside the comfort zone was when I did my Look with Teresa's Dead's palette with Lethal, the Lethal is Dead palette. With all the spacey names. And that was really fun. I liked that. But some of that was because the extra sparkly cheek, because I'm not really an extra sparkly cheek girl. Got a little sparkly today. Okay, so there we go. Lipstick. So, outside the comfort zone. We're gonna start first. This is from the Chucky collection from Glamlite. So this is going to be a deeper color. What's outside of my comfort zone is usually I like to have lipstick and lip liner pretty close. Sorry about that. That was my maximum safe distance alarm for work. So the Chucky liner out of my comfort zone is having a deeper or a different colored liner than my regular lipstick. I don't generally do that. Usually I like to have them pretty close because I don't like people to see my lip line. But this is from Chucky. This is the lip liner, the Chucky one. There's a Tiff lip kit and a Chucky lip kit. It's more of a dark brown. So we're gonna start with this because it's completely different than the lip color that I'm gonna be wearing. So here we go. Now, for the raison d'etre, the reason for doing this video, this is the Charlotte Tilbury. This is a limited edition, and I don't know if it did well, but it's a very striking color. And what I've noticed from Charlotte Tilbury lip colors is a lot of things are a little light for me. You know, that I'm in that light category, but even for that, some of the lip colors that are super light are really light on me. So much so that they're not really as flattering as I'd like. And conversely, some of the deeper looking colors are actually really pretty on me. So I was like, okay, we're gonna take a risk. And so this is the 1975 red, the red 1975. This has the regular, the light vanilla fragrance. In that more of the matte category. Let me swatch this for you so you can see a swatch without. So it's that orangey red. And look at that next to the Bellini. I like that. You know, that's what made me think, okay, it's gonna be interesting. But anyway, so this is the Charlotte Tilbury. So this color is very outside my comfort zone. But I found like, I like this. And I like it more for that spring summer look. This is gonna be something I think that I'm gonna reach for. Because can you imagine, even if I was doing just and I'll get you a little closer for the eye, don't panic. If I was doing just like my wing of a liquid liner with something kind of shimmery on the lid and a little bronzy look and this lip color, I think that would be just pretty stunning. You know, I have my sunglasses on, I take them off, and this is what you see. So I think I would really like this for spring and summer, and it's because I decided to step outside my comfort zone, to take a chance on a lip color that, you know, and I think some of that is brand trust and knowing a little bit about the brand, the fact that I tend to look good in the deeper colors from Charlotte and not necessarily in the lighter colors. But also that I have a trust that I think it's going to be okay. And also, you know, I had a choice of different products, and I did choose this as one of the things that I could do. But I'm actually really happy I did. I'm happy I got outside my comfort zone. Now, I'll admit, sometimes when I step out of my comfort zone, it's a hot mess. But in this case, I feel like this was a good choice. And some of that was brand trust, knowing the brand, and some of it was just like, we're gonna try it, we're gonna see. You know, like, this is makeup, we can always take it off, and we're gonna have a lovely experiment. So there you go. So I am excited about this. I feel good. I'm ready to make my phone call I don't want to make, and I'll probably go to work and make the phone call on my break. But anyway, practicing that bravery. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everybody has water, shelter, food, light, electricity, and all that good stuff. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.